Welcome to the Dodgers Blue News channel. Before the news, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Now, let's get to the Dodgers news.
Hey Dodgers fans! Heads up because there's some hot action brewing on the horizon. The Dodgers are eyeing reinforcements for the rotation, and get this, the plan is bold: to snatch a pitcher from none other than their city rivals, the Los Angeles Angels. With a 25-28 record, the Angels might end up taking a seller's stance when the trade deadline arrives. If that happens, Reid Detmers' name is starting to gain traction behind the scenes. CBS Sports journalist R.J. Anderson has already pointed to Detmers as a real option for the Dodgers. Detmers is the kind of player who intrigues. Advanced stats love the guy. His mix of fastball and slider grabs attention, and he maintains a solid strikeout-to-walk ratio. But the problem shows up in practice. Since last year, he hasn't been able to keep opposing runs off the board. So much so that this season, the Angels have moved him to the bullpen. Reid debuted in the league in 2021, had a solid 2022 with a 3.77 ERA in 25 starts. The following year, he was still useful but far from dazzling. And in 2024, things really went downhill. A 6.70 ERA, and coming out of the bullpen, he's already at 7.52. He's not in his best form, that's true, but therein lies the opportunity. The Dodgers have a long list of injured pitchers. The situation demands depth, and Detmers could be exactly the guy to hold things together, whether as a swingman or coming in for long relief when things get tight. Plus, he's under team control through 2028. According to Spotrac projections, he could command an 8-year deal worth around $101 million in the future. But right now, his market value is well below that. This could be a low-risk, high-reward move. At worst, he helps save the arms of the staff during the season marathon. At best, maybe they bring back the 2022 version of Detmers, who still seems hidden somewhere, waiting for the right chance. Now, let's talk about what it would mean for Reid Detmers to wear Dodgers blue after spending his entire career with the Angels. Leaving a team that's faced years of frustration and struggled to truly compete, and crossing the city to join an organization that breathes excellence, where winning isn't optional, it's mandatory. Imagine him walking into the Dodgers clubhouse. The impact is immediate. The culture here is different. It's the culture of victory, of excellence, of development. Everyone knows when a player arrives in Los Angeles, especially coming from a rival like the Angels, he's not just here to fill a spot. He's here to compete, to grow, to be refined until he reaches his full potential. The pressure is real, of course. Playing almost daily in packed stadiums means constant scrutiny from fans, media, and teammates alike. Because here, nobody shows up just to participate. They show up to win. And that changes everything: mindset, preparation, even how a player views his own career. Detmers would have access to some of the best pitching development resources in MLB. And that's no exaggeration. The Dodgers are a benchmark. How many times have we seen this team transform seemingly ordinary arms into key pieces? Players who arrived doubted, sometimes just trying to stay in the league, and left Los Angeles as champions, with the best performances of their careers. For Reid, this means working with specialized coaches who would break down every detail of his game. Reviewing mechanics, rethinking pitch sequences, working on spin rate, angles, everything that today makes the difference between being an average guy and a dominant pitcher. And when you combine that with a team that offers total support, from top-tier analytics to a clubhouse full of veterans who know exactly what it takes to win, the transformation stops being a possibility and becomes a probability. But the emotional side can't be ignored. It's not just about changing uniforms. It's about switching sides in a rivalry that shakes the entire city. Imagine leaving the Angels, who constantly watch the Dodgers fight at the top, and suddenly being on the other side, wearing blue, looking out at stands full of fans who expect nothing less than a World Series. Motivation hits an all-time high. For Detmers, this would undoubtedly be the biggest opportunity of his career. A chance to leave behind bad numbers, flip the script, and prove to the whole league that he's not the guy with a 6.70 ERA. That he's a former first-round pick who's flashed quality and, with the right environment, can become much more. And there's a detail not to be forgotten. Doing this in the rival team's uniform adds a special flavor. It's the kind of storyline baseball writes like no other. Going from the Angels' bullpen to, maybe, being a key piece on the Dodgers' mound down the stretch, in the playoffs, and even in a World Series. The whole city of Los Angeles would feel that impact. And Detmers would know better than ever that this is an opportunity he simply cannot waste. For the Dodgers, bringing in Reid Detmers wouldn't be just another market move. It would be one of those smart plays the organization knows how to make like few others in MLB. Because it's not just about finding a name on the market, it's about seeing potential where many see problems. The Dodgers have an impeccable track record when it comes to developing pitchers. This wouldn't be the first time, and certainly not the last, that the franchise bets on an arm that seems to be declining but that, with the right adjustments, can become a valuable piece. Detmers fits that profile perfectly. The reality is the team needs depth in the pitching staff. Injuries have hit hard, both in the rotation and the bullpen, and the season is a marathon. There comes a point when having reliable arms isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. And that's where the Dodgers stand out. They don't wait for problems to explode, they act ahead. Detmers would arrive as a versatile option. He could be used as a swingman, covering both bullpen and rotation innings when needed. A guy for long relief, to put out fires, to hold games when the starter exits early. And if it works out, if the adjustments happen, it wouldn't be surprising if he even earned a more permanent spot in the rotation. This is exactly the kind of flexibility the Dodgers like on their roster. And the best part, the cost would be relatively low. With Detmers' current numbers, the Angels aren't in a position to demand the moon. That means the Dodgers could make this move without giving up key farm pieces. A low-risk investment with a very high ceiling, especially considering Detmers is still under team control through 2028. There's also the psychological factor that can't be underestimated. Seeing a player cross town from the rival, put on Dodgers blue, and suddenly start producing, start winning, helping build victories, and, who knows, a run in October, that has a huge impact on team morale, fan confidence, and undoubtedly on the Dodgers-Angels rivalry. For the Dodgers, this is the definition of a smart bet. You don't need Detmers to be an ace. You don't need him to lead the rotation. What you need is a guy who can come in, eat innings, ease the staff's workload, keep the game under control, and if all goes according to the development staff's belief, become something even bigger. And that's exactly how the Dodgers stay on top year after year. Seeing value where others don't. Betting not just on who the player is today, but on who he can become when placed in the right environment, with the right tools, with the winning mindset that defines what it means to play in Los Angeles. This is the kind of move that keeps this franchise huge, relevant, and always fighting in October. Dodgers fans can expect exactly what this team always delivers, a thoughtful, strategic move with huge potential to succeed. If the trade for Reid Detmers happens, don't expect a savior or an immediate ace. Expect a project, a guy who arrives with raw talent, with tools the Dodgers development staff knows better than anyone how to polish. Fans can expect a player who will embrace the challenge. Detmers knows that wearing blue means playing at a different level. There's no room for complacency here. The pressure is daily, but along with it comes support, structure, and the behind-the-scenes work that transforms careers. Expect an arm that can start by helping in simple ways, long innings, putting out fires, holding tough games, giving the bullpen and starters some breathing room. And if the right adjustments happen, and let's be honest, that's one of this franchise's greatest superpowers, it wouldn't be a surprise to see Detmers rise to the next level, fighting for a spot in the rotation, delivering solid and consistent performances. Fans can also expect that special flavor only baseball offers, watching a former Angels player, a city rival, grow, reinvent himself, and shine right in Dodger Stadium. It's the kind of story that gets everyone out of their seats, applauding and thinking, this is our team. What lies ahead? Hard work, adjustments, development, and of course, that expectation every Dodgers fan carries in their chest, seeing another name transform, fit into the system, help win games, and maybe be part of another World Series run. Because if this team knows one thing, it's how to turn opportunities into victories. And when that happens, everybody wins. This trade is exactly the Dodgers way. A market opportunity mixing intelligence, development, and vision for the future. It's not just about fixing an immediate problem on the mound. It's about betting on potential, believing in the process, and turning an unstable piece into a cog that works inside a system that breathes excellence. If this trade happens, fans can be sure. Detmers doesn't arrive as a magic solution, but as further proof that this team doesn't build wins just with names, but with work, vision, and the constant obsession to always be one step ahead. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think? Do you believe it's worth betting on Reid Detmers as that low-risk, high-potential arm, or would it be better to pursue a more established name in the market? Share your opinions in the comments. See you next time, Dodgers Nation.